My name is Daniil, and for almost 7 years, I've been working as an administrator in a small roadside hotel along a long, quiet highway where endless trucks pass by, lonely travelers stop for the night, and people show up who clearly don't want to be remembered. The place is old, a 2-story building with 12 rooms, thin walls, and hallways where footsteps somehow echo as if someone heavy and limping is walking, even when it's just a teenager in sneakers. I never considered my job scary, more monotonous than anything. But the longer I work here, the more clearly I understand one thing. Some people show up at our hotel not because they want rest, but because they have nowhere else to go. And sometimes their behavior, their habits, or the look in their eyes makes you think about what happened to them before they crossed our threshold. I want to tell you about 5 events that happened over the years. Each one is right on the edge of normal and unexplainable, but without anything supernatural, just reality, which can be far more unsettling. Room 3 and the man who didn't want to show his face. This was in my 3rd shift ever. Late at night, a man walked in. Tall, long coat, hood pulled all the way forward. He didn't take it off, even indoors. A scarf covered most of his face. Only his tired, red-rimmed eyes appeared once or twice. He said, "Room for one night. Any room. Just far from others." I gave him room 3, a quiet corner room next to a storage closet. A couple of hours later, during rounds, I noticed something strange. A piece of paper pushed out from under his door. It was nearly fully outside, as if he wanted someone to find it. On it was written, "If I come out at night, don't look at my face." A cold shiver went through me. I returned to my desk, deciding it was someone's sick joke. Around 3 in the morning, I heard his door creak open. Footsteps, slow, careful, past the reception desk. I turned my head but kept my eyes low, looking only at his shoes. He walked back again near dawn. In the morning, he left without a word, but he did leave another note. "Thank you for not looking." That was it. For a long time, I wondered what he was hiding. An injury, signs of abuse, trouble with the law. No one ever saw him again. The girl who refused to stay in her room. This story is strange because it seems explainable, yet it still bothers me. A young woman checked in near midnight, quiet, polite. She asked for one night, handed over her ID, and went to room 7. 20 minutes later, she came back, pale, hands shaking as she held the key. "Could you give me another room?" I asked if something was wrong. Insects, smell, noise. She shook her head. Someone was there. In the room? No, it was empty. But the things on the desk weren't where I left them. We checked. The room was spotless, untouched. I moved her to room 10. In the morning, she hurried out, almost grateful to leave. After she left, I went up to room 10. And here's the odd part I still remember clearly. A hair clip was lying in the exact center of the desk, placed neatly, deliberately. But she had left in a rush. She definitely hadn't put it there like that. The guest with no luggage one autumn, a man in his 40s, arrived. No luggage, not even a small bag. His documents were normal, his behavior calm, but something about him felt off. After I checked him in, he said abruptly, "If someone asks about me, tell them I never checked in." And he went to room 11. That same night, around 2, the hotel door opened. 2 men stood outside, one in uniform, the other in plain clothes, but clearly experienced. "We're looking for a man. He may have stayed here." I did exactly as the guest requested. I told them no such person had checked in. They exchanged looks. "Mind if we walk through the hallways?" Legally, they needed documentation, which they didn't show, so I refused. They left. I went up to room 11. The door was slightly open. Inside, nothing. Bed made, window wide open. Not a single sign that someone had been there, except for one piece of paper on the table. "Thank you. You did the right thing." He disappeared after that. A child's laugh. when no one was there. The hotel is old, the walls thin, but that night, all rooms were empty except room 5. I was at the desk doing invoices when I heard a child's laugh. Light, ringing, like someone running through the hallway. I stepped out. Nobody. Checked upstairs. Empty. Stepped outside. Silence. A couple minutes later, the laugh again. This time closer, almost right behind the reception wall. I checked the cameras. Hallway. Empty. Stairs. Empty. Exit. Empty. I went upstairs and walked the corridor slowly. Again, the same laugh, but now as if from downstairs, from the storage area. I went down and realized the sound wasn't from the storage room, but from the ventilation shaft. The strange part, the ventilation was turned off that night. Later, I heard that a family traveling through the region had gone missing. Maybe it was a coincidence, maybe not. The woman in the hallway who didn't want to enter her room. The most unsettling incident happened only a year ago. Around 1 a.m., a woman came in, neat, polite, slightly confused. She said she was exhausted, had been driving for hours, and just needed sleep. I gave her room 9. 10 minutes later, she returned. Not frightened, not anxious, just drained. "Sorry," she said quietly. "I can't stay there." By then, I was used to strange requests. I asked what happened. She hesitated for a long time, then said, "When I walked in, a man was standing by the window." "Are you sure?" "Yes." "Maybe you imagined it?" "No," she said, looking straight at me. "He was standing there, just standing, staring outside." We went up to check. The room was empty, window shut. No sign of anyone. She only said, "Please give me any other room, just not this one." In the morning, she left quickly. When I went to check room 9 afterward, everything seemed normal, except for one thing. A fresh handprint was on the window glass. And the strange part, there were no other signs of anyone ever being there. No footprints, no smell, no disturbances, nothing, except that single clear handprint. Why I still work there, honestly, I don't know. Maybe because after all these years I've realized something. People are far scarier than anything supernatural. Our hotel has no ghosts, no paranormal activity. But there are moments when the air grows heavier, when footsteps at night sound too soft, when someone's past seems to seep into the building and stays long after the person leaves. This place is just walls and corridors, but the people who come here bring with them everything they're running from, and sometimes everything that's chasing them. As an administrator, I see that in every pair of eyes. I never told anyone about the handprint in room 9. Some things are easier to keep to yourself, especially in a job where silence is almost part of the uniform. But a few weeks after that incident, something happened that made me reconsider everything I thought I understood about this hotel. It was a rainy weekday evening, slow, quiet, the kind of night when even the highway feels abandoned. I was finishing inventory when the front door opened and a man walked in. Early 50s, soaked from the rain, breathing heavily like he had been walking for miles. He didn't ask for a room immediately. Instead, he stood there, dripping onto the floor, eyes scanning the lobby like he was trying to remember something. "Can I help you?" I asked. He looked at me as if I'd startled him. "I think I stayed here once," he said. "Years ago." People say that all the time, but something in his voice made me pay attention. A roughness, a hesitation. "Do you remember the room?" I asked. He shook his head slowly. "No, I only remember the hallway and a window facing the road." That narrowed it down, but not enough. "You want to look around first?" I suggested. The idea was strange, but he nodded too quickly, too gratefully. As we walked down the first floor corridor, he kept glancing at the doors like he was reading something invisible written on them. Then he stopped abruptly at room 2. "This one," he murmured. Something happened here. I unlocked the door. The room was clean, ordinary, just like any other. He stepped inside carefully, almost reverently. "I stayed here with my brother," he said quietly. "We were driving home after a fight. He went to bed early. I remember waking up and he wasn't breathing right. I didn't interrupt. He survived," the man continued, "but only because I woke up at the right moment. Doctors later said it was a seizure. Random, sudden, nothing supernatural." He paused, staring at the bed like he expected someone to be lying there. "But after that night," he said, "I kept thinking, what made me wake up? I'm a heavy sleeper. I don't know why I opened my eyes at that exact moment." He sat on the edge of the bed, hands shaking slightly. "I've driven past this hotel dozens of times since. Every time I tell myself to stop and ask if someone knocked on our door that night. If someone walking in the hallway made a sound. Anything." I leaned against the wall. "No one else was checked in next to you," I said. "I wasn't working here at the time, but I knew our old logs well. Only you two." He absorbed that, closing his eyes. "So it really was nothing," he whispered. Then, after a long pause, "Or maybe something ordinary that felt like a warning." We walked back toward the lobby. Before leaving, he turned to me and said, "You know, some buildings remember things, not ghosts, not spirits, just moments. Moments that change people." He slipped his wet jacket back on, opened the door, and stopped halfway. "This place feels like it has too many of those moments." And he left. I watched him disappear into the darkness of the parking lot. I should have closed the door immediately, but something in his words held me there. Moments that change people. That night, after checking the logs, I went back to room 2. Not because I expected anything, just curiosity. The room was still, quiet, the air slightly cooler than the hallway. I stood there for a minute, trying to imagine what had happened years ago. And then, just as I turned to leave, I noticed something small. On the back of the nightstand, barely visible in the dim light, someone had scratched 2 initials. Not carved deliberately, more like a hand brushing against the wood repeatedly over time. It meant nothing to me. But for the first time in a long while, I felt like the hotel wasn't just a place where strange things happen. It was a place where people leave pieces of themselves, quiet reminders, forgotten clues, unanswered questions. And the building keeps all of it, not like ghosts, just memories. Some nights, when the hallways settle into their usual creaks and whispers, I think about the man in the rain, the girl with the misplaced hair clip, the silent figure by the window, and I wonder how many stories this place still holds, how many moments I haven't discovered yet, and how many are still waiting.